According to the New Yorker by Jane Mayer on March 5, 2018, reported that two Republican senators, Lindsey Graham and Charles Grassley, had referred Steele's name to the Department of Justice for a possible criminal investigation. They were accusing Steele, the author of a secret dossier that helped trigger the federal investigation into President Trump's possible ties to Russia, of having lied to the very FBI officers he alerted about his findings. The details of the criminal referral were classified, so Steele could not know the nature of the allegations, let alone rebut them, but they had something to do with his having misled the Bureau about contacts that he'd had with the press. For nearly 30 years, Steele had worked as a close ally of the United States, and he couldn't imagine why anyone would believe that he had been deceptive. But lying to an FBI officer is a felony, an offense that can be punished by up to 5 years in prison. In the spring of 2016, Orbis Business Intelligence, a small investigative research firm that Steele and a partner had founded in 2009 after leaving MI6, Britain's secret intelligence service, had agreed to do opposition research on Trump's murky relationship with Russia. Under the arrangement, Orbis was a subcontractor working for Fusion GPS, a private research firm in Washington. Fusion, in turn, had been contracted by a law firm, Perkins Coie, which represented both Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign and the Democratic National Committee. Several months after Steele signed the deal, he learned that through this chain, his research was being jointly subsidized by the Clinton campaign and the DNC. In all, Steele was paid $168,000 for his work. The creation of a dossier filled with deceptive and inaccurate information heralded by the Democratic Party and the media as the means to implicate then-President Trump as a Russian collaborator. This would be the beginning of a 4-year war against the Trump administration by the Democrats to discredit his victory over Hillary Clinton, which was her plan from the beginning. Declassified documents reveal that early on, former CIA Director John Brennan informed then President Barack Obama about Clinton's plot to manufacture a political narrative to attempt to tie Trump to Russia to detract from an email scandal. Now, anyone holding the office of the President of the United States knows this is the highest position of the people of the United States. However, Biden and Obama all had an obligation to tell the truth and continue to have that obligation to come clean to the American public. But instead, they allowed the press to run wild with the Russia collusion hoax, even though they knew what the Hillary Clinton campaign was doing. So you get Brennan going out on national media stoking the fires of this conspiracy. That's what the people need to be aware of. They were all in on it. During the Trump administration, Fiona Hill served as top National Security Council expert on Russia and Europe, supervising previous impeachment witness Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindom. You remember Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindom, who under oath during the impeachment stated that President Trump was involved in inappropriate negotiations with the Ukrainian President Zelensky. Well, it turns out Fiona Hill left her post in the summer of 2019 and was succeeded in that post by another impeachment witness, Tim Morrison, before he resigned from the National Security Council post in October. Don't you find it unnerving that offices provided to the witnesses and post contributing to portray President Donald Trump in various impeachment attempts were promoted as part of their cooperation? British ex-spy Christopher Steele told the FBI he believed Fiona Hill, the top Russia expert on former Donald Trump's National Security Council, knew about the involvement of Steele's main source with his discredited dossier of salacious and unproven Trump-Russia collusion claims. Newly declassified records show this. Fiona Hill betrayed the trust of former President Donald Trump and the people of the United States because she knowingly supported the information contained in the imaginary accusations of a Trump-Russia collusion meant to discredit the president and deceive the people of the United States for the next potential presidential run of Hillary Clinton in 2024. Yes, I know how elaborate this story may appear on the surface, but almost 3 years later, the implications of the Clinton campaign running on the Steele dossier to facilitate her next run schemed as back as the Obama administration. Furthermore, President Trump ordered the declassification of a binder of documents related to FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation on the eve of President Biden's inauguration. Yet the Justice Department, whom previously released an almost entirely redacted version of Steele's FBI interview in late 2020, continued to purport to news outlets with a less redacted version to make public.
Former Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, has revealed that Hillary's motives to frame Trump were no secret. The CIA, FBI, the DOJ, and even Obama himself were briefed that the Russia hoax was a Clinton dirty trick. But they all went along with it, didn't they? Ratcliffe believes that there is more than enough evidence for, quote, multiple indictments.
Do you recall Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman? He was the star witness of the Ukrainian hoax. Well, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman resigned from the U.S. Army. Why? Well, Vindman admitted he lied while testifying to an impeachment hearing about a phone call between President Trump and the Ukrainian President Zelensky. Vindman had been an important member of the national security establishment. Vindman has admitted that his account of Trump's phone call with Zelensky was not accurate. The phone call in question covered Trump's offer to help Zelensky make important reforms to strengthen democracy and fight corruption. Here's some additional information the public was not made aware of. The New York Post article, Alexander Vindman condemned himself in his impeachment testimony by Josh Hammer. He wrote that Vindman was unreliable and had questionable judgment according to his outgoing superior, Tim Morrison, the National Security Council's Senior Director for European Affairs. Morrison viewed Vindman as so untrustworthy that he opted to exclude him from his conversations with William Taylor, the senior U.S. diplomat in Ukraine. This elaborate web of lies directly leads to Hillary Clinton's campaign and Hillary Clinton herself. The takeaway from the Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman is that he lied under oath and was not prosecuted. He resigned before what I presume would have been his being stripped of his rank and official position. This coward was the star witness for Adam Schiff, who would lie under oath and be covered by Democrat Adam Schiff and the Democratic Party. Go figure.